Okay, thank you everyone. Good morning. My name is Shimon Wei from NORD. We are a third-party testing, inspection, certification company who has done quite a lot of PV and energy storage inspection and certification. And therefore today I bring my topic about securing investment in the solar plus energy storage with all the emerging technologies we see these days. So with regards to the PV sectors, we have these emerging technologies. When we talk about this, basically, briefly, I catalog them to the two big categories. One is development in the cell technology, such as we used to have PERC, and now we have the TOPCon, we have HJT, and then with all the other news like the XBC or Provost Guide. And all these are the emerging cell technologies, which brings to the new higher efficiency and therefore with the higher power output. And on the other end is the design part, which we see like the larger dimensions of the solar cells, and then to the modules, which have just been talked about in the panel discussion. So with two new emerging technology categories, we see advantages and also the disadvantages. So for example, with higher efficiencies, which caused by the new cell technology, this brings to the better LCOE and also enhance this bifaciality of the others. Below there's a table with theoretical data for TOPCon compared with PERC, who has a better efficiency, also has a lower temperature coefficient and others. But we also see some disadvantages, such as the complexity. For example, now we have 0BB technologies, which is very good for increased efficiency. But on the other hand, the construction or production process is really much more complicated, and also causing a higher defect rate during the construction period, which you need repair work all the time. Also, with the applications for the moment, these emerging technologies have much less data than the, let's say, conventional ones that we can know, or we can just prove the stability and reliability of these applications. So with time goes for 2 or 3 more years, these applications may start to see different results of with regard to the reliability. So here about the risks we have seen as a third party during our testing process and also during our inspection process. For example, for the package and transportation with the higher and the bigger size, the overall weight of the modules are also increasing, which caused some concerns on the transportation method, and also the due to the vibration on the road, this module breakage rate is also higher. Not only physical breakage, but also micro cracks during which you can see under EL. And for the mounting method, also we talk about briefly at the panel discussion, where with 2 workers and higher weight, it's hard to lift the modules to the rooftop, and therefore either you have some other machinery, or when you do it with bare hands, you increase the chance of the breakage. Electrical safety is also one of the topics or the risks we see with emerging technologies, because the solar cell now has bigger size, and therefore they are with higher current during normal operation. And in that sense, the junction box is also suffering from higher workload. When shading is happening and hotspot is happening, the diode is starting to work, and then causing higher temperature during operation because of the higher current. So the junction box is also one of the part which we see in the field get failures much more higher, or maybe higher chances than other components in the system. So here we also see this also reflects the durability of the junction box. So for the power generation and outdoor performance, recently in our lab, we discovered two things. One is especially for HJT. In the initial stages where we do the testing, we see the HJT modules are much more sensitive to the humidity, where it fails because the standards require 5% maximum degradation, and then we see for HJT, it starts to be more sensitive to damp heat than others, which degrades much more than 5% even after 1,000 hours of the standardized test method. And nowadays, it is kind of solved because the design of the module is also improved with double glass and also with some sealings around the modules. So this part is now improved. Another find is something recently we see in our lab testing results there for the UV, especially for the TOPCon modules, that they are also more sensitive to the UV somehow with regular dosage of 15 kilowatt per hours per square meter. The degradation is sometimes even 10% after this regular thing. We suspect that it's possible due to the higher efficiency of the cells nowadays that the passive process has been much more severe. They take more time in the passive process, and therefore these unstable atoms inside of the module, or the keys of the modules, are easily to break at UV. So now the solution is on the way. I think some factories start to use transit EVA or transit PoE to diverse the energy from the UV wavelengths to the others. But maybe there are also other solutions to improve the stability of the cells inside. So we see the risks in different scenarios for PV, and this is all for the emerging technologies, which I just said the reliability needs time to prove. With regarding to the emerging technologies in the energy storage system, this is a nice picture made by NIEL, which defines the capacity versus the operation need for seconds need, for hours need, or for weekly need. And then we can see a very big section here is the batteries, electrical storage systems. And also hydrogen is another topic which we have seen. High power flywheels is also one of the hot topics here. So with all these emerging technologies, there are also risks we see during our inspection. For example, for the batteries, we need to consider really different scenarios for different hazard may happens in the field. In our inspection, we see a lot of small, maybe looks like small, but they are, in the end, it may cause a big problem. For example, with the batteries deployed in the plant, surrounding, usually the fire safety is inside the battery, but the surroundings, I mean the protection to other accessors, other people who have access to this place, like the firefighters, when they have the, when it causes the fire, it can happen with very few protection for these people. For example, the road is too narrow that the firefighter trucks cannot get inside. Also, they built a wall around this area, but the wall is even lower than the storage itself, which means when the fire happens, it cannot really stop anything from burning around or like spreading of the fire. So these kind of things, we have electrical, we have explosion, we have EMC, we have all the chemical hazards when it gets fire, and all the chemical substances will go to the air and pollute, make pollutions and cause hazard to the people. So all of this from design stage to the operation and then to the end of service of the batteries for recycling, these are all things we need to consider as the risks for batteries. And also even with combination of two things, with PV and with batteries, this is important to think both sides and also to mitigate the risks. So from a perspective of a testing facility or of a inspection body, we see for different reliability evaluations, we have international standard or sometimes NORD internal standard to deal with all these things. Some special things, for example, we have the wind tunnel test, who address all the problems with stronger wind areas. We have the elevated temperature testing, which can address where if we put some PV modules or system at higher temperature areas, this can also help to evaluate the reliability. For example, for the offshore use, we have our evaluations specialized for the offshore use for PV plants. Usually we have offshore wind, but now the offshore PV is also popular. So this is something we have. And this is from a small summary table from perspective of a certification testing inspection body. As NORD, we also have our whole process quality surveillance program, which start from the factory audit before production until the inline inspection, pre-shipment inspection, and until when you deliver the real product to the site. We also can do the post-shipment inspection and also the installation inspection after it really become viable in the system or get connected to the grid. So generally, this is overall map of NORD, how much we have done in this area for PV, for energy storage system. More than 80 gigawatts have been inspected by NORD, and we have more than 33,000 certificates issued to different companies for PV area and for the energy storage area. So that's it for today. Just start a quick introduction of the risks we see and the small solutions we provide. And if you have any questions, just feel free to contact me. I mean, it's already late for the tea break, so I don't waste too many time. If we have questions, we just talk afterward. Okay? Thank you.